we haven't really missed a whole lot here as we get underway. It's a best-of-3 matchup,
yep.
And of course the loser not going to be done. There's still the lower bracket. It's a double elimination bracket here.
This is still the opening round, and I'm not sure what happened to our local, but sorry, YouTube folks, you did miss the draft. I started one, I swears it, but I must have tapped the button by mistake. So here we go, EG versus Boreal. We are just before the creep spawn, and Boreal off to a very aggressive start here. They've got 4 heroes invading the enemy's ancients of all places. Normally you'll see Dire invade the jungle, but here they're looking for maybe just some little straggler to poke towards that top lane. There is a Radiant Observer Ward on the high ground here that they're just about to walk over. So the jig is up, and it looks like this won't yield any kind of a first blood. Instead, both teams will grab a bounty rune apiece.
I thought at first maybe PPD wasn't going to be there to block for the Universe offlane, but it looks like he is heading there now. No, he's going to help block the mid lane. So that does, you know, it's a little unfortunate there for Universe in the offlane. He just, his purpose here on the Morphling is to get levels. If you can get some CS, that's wonderful, but you got to get those levels together. By level 5, you can be pretty effective. You'll have at least your Tranquils, maybe the start to your soul ring, maybe a soul ring if you're lucky. But you got your level 3 adaptive strike, and that's when you can really start to go to work. So we'll see.
That max 3.25 seconds stun. Let's quickly introduce some rosters here, though. Radiant side, we've got the Evil Geniuses. Safe lane, it'll be Fear on the Phantom Lancer. Owie 2000 takes the Demon Witch Lion. Mid, that'll be Sumail here on the Shadow Fiend. PPD on the Earthshaker. Headed up top, and it's Universe on the offlane Morphling in a 1v3 scenario right now. We'll see how he fares.
And for the Dire side, it's Boreal Esports, the team that made it through along with Void Boys from phase number 1, and now they have the challenge of facing the Evil Geniuses in this top lane setup right now. We got who I'll say Shark, or Shark Knee God Fan, who I believe is a stand-in right now. He's playing your Witch Doctor, sporting the Zyori cosmetic get-up right there. We got Tiburon, who's going to be playing your core Slardar mid lane, going toe-to-toe with Sumail on the Shadow Fiend. It's going to be 747, I believe, you know, sponsoring his girlfriend Susie right there. On your Troll, and that leaves bottom lane Mr. Will Ease, or Will Easy. Not having an easy time right now. He's playing your Broodmother here in the offlane.
Is it Will Easy? I keep saying Willez. I actually don't know. I
say
what
Willies,
this is.
you know. But we'll see.
Oh,
but,
man.
wow,
Arguing about his name. We'll miss the first blood. Sumail. Okay, he gets a solo kill on a troll. I feel like this really should not happen in most cases, but the troll did get his bottle before he died, and well, we have to pay a little more attention to that mini-map here, as Sumail is just off to an amazing start. He was already dominating the troll in terms of CS, 12-4 versus the 4-0 troll. Now with the first blood in tow, yeah, this is going to be a tough lane for the Dire.
I don't know if Boreal, when they first picked the troll, I mean, it's obviously very, appetizing to pick up the troll when it hasn't been banned out, but I don't know if they were going into this game thinking it was going to be a mid-lane troll, but this troll is going to have a hard time against Shadow Fiend. He needs help. And as far as the available help, well, we're looking over Witch Doctor, probably one of your better options. Lich, not the biggest ganker as it is, but if they don't help him out soon, Sumail is really going to be able to be dominant early on in this game.
And this is one of the drawbacks of an early game Lich. He's amazing when you have static lanes where they can all hold their own. Susie, is he going to go down here again? Nope, not another raise from Sumail, but now he can just be a bully and really bring it to this troll. And even if the Lich rotates mid, what's it going to do? Maybe pull some more creep aggro into the tower, but Sumail now has the burst damage to dive the troll and really do a lot of damage. Now in the bottom lane, we'll see Willez get taken out as they have a sentry ward down. 3 heroes converge, and ends up just being an easy pick-off. Plenty of crowd controls and big damage, but anyhow, Lich, not like an Earthshaker or a line where you can come and really win a lane for your mid laner when you've been dominated this hard. Just look at Sumail. He's cutting in between the towers. Absolutely.
Oh, he's getting chopped here a bit. Got slowed. Then the blind does come out, but just not enough burst. And by this point, Sumail's got 22 bonus damage. He hits pretty damn hard, but here comes that Lich. I call him out for not being the best ganker, but look at him prove me wrong. Gets the slow onto Sumail. Do they have the right click? They can't. He just turns back and hits him with a few shots. PPD did rotate over, but did not have the mana for the fissure, which is unfortunate because he could have gotten a big 2-man block out from that mid lane.
Yeah, that was very close to being a total disaster. He was about 5 mana short from the fissure, and that's a totally different play. If it's the other way around, they set up for a kill on the Troll Warlord, though. He's on the other side of the fissure, but Sumail still locks him down with the raises. And it's another kill on the board for the Evil Geniuses. 3-0 in the first 4 minutes of gameplay. Already this net worth graph looking pretty scary.
Yeah, very dominant mid lane already for Evil Geniuses. Bottom also going very well. Fear is second in CS at 22-12. This Brood just trying to throw together the rest of the Soul Ring has reached level 3. So this is typically where the Brood can start to really go to work and utilize those Broodlings. But Fear knows what to expect, is going to try to bully him back. And Well, for their top lane, which should be the lane that they're actually getting something out from, you know, Slardar is at 23-9, and they can really do as they please. Universe is not being contested. The Creeper Librium has been plenty close to his tower, so he's just doing fine. He's going to be getting his Tranquils here shortly, and he's all underway. But mid lane, though, they have another breakout fight as, again, the Troll will be taken apart. Now Dewey's going to be in trouble. This all set up again from PPD. Good assist there with the Fissure. Dewey trying to make it out to the north. Nice little coconut does fly out, though, from Shark, and he's able to slow them down, but can Dewey still get away? Sumail's thinking about the long-range snipe. Can he make it? Oh, God, no, he doesn't go for it.
Sumail does have boots. It is a bootless Lich at the moment, but now Sumail just goes in.
Oh!
The Witch Doctor, and bada boom, bada bing. It's as easy as that. And this Shadow Fiend's just having a field day at this point. 5-0 in the first 5 minutes. Fear still continuing to find good space down bottom. They are bullying this Brood. Willez with 3 last hits so far. He is really not finding much. Has a Soul Ring, which I guess is something. But it's just non-stop aggression. And Owie, anytime he pops out, throwing out these stuns and draining mana to keep the sustainability there.
And now that those supports were forced to rotate, help out the mid lane, Universe now only has to deal with the Slardar, so he's starting to put together some CS, which is just wonderful for him. And yeah, Boreal need to kind of think of a way to really pull it back here. Maybe once they're able to get to that level 6 threshold, they'll have their Death Ward at the ready, the Chain Frost will be good to go, but outside of that, it's hopefully the Slardar can get an early Blink Dagger. Then
he's got
to go around and take some names. But until that point, it's going to be a hard early game.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this, and Slardar is the only one farming decently on the Dire side. We can switch over to Net Worth, and the Troll is about on point with the off-lane Morphling, which is always scary. Dewey, woohoo, baby, almost goes down. 44 hit points to spare. Sumail's Rune does get denied by the Witch Doctor. A cheeky little play there. It'll only slow him down so much, though. I feel like there is a lot on the back of this Slardar right now, Dakota. If he doesn't do something with this Blink Dagger, I don't know what hope Boreal has in game number 1.
But the problem is he'll get a Blink Dagger, but he won't have a BKB. And someone like Universe is going to have a very long stun waiting for him. And at this point, with someone like Sumail and his Shadow Fiend being very farmed, even Fear's PL, any of them could get a quick and easy kill with a setup from Universe. So just when I think that maybe Boreal could have a comeback factor getting an item like that, I think that Evil Geniuses will have an answer waiting for him. It's going to be a hard one here for Boreal.
And it's going to be a while before this Brood can really contribute anything at all. Simply a Soul Ring right now. No boots, no beginnings of a Midas, not even a GG branch.
Oh, man. It begins. I keep looking back. Universe now, he's bringing in the gains. Now already about 1k life. A level 5 offlane Morphling here. And
he's closing in on that Soul Ring. He has the Tranquil Boots now, Sage's Mask. His farm is pretty decent, what you would expect for a Morphling in a scenario like this.
Yeah, he's fine. He is perfectly fine. And he just needs to pretty much worry about waveform, set up with the stun, and we'll see if he goes back to the offlane to finish the Soul Ring. And nope, he's going to look to put that first Adaptive Strike to use, and it looks like bottom lane will be the choice. And a Midas was picked up from Fear, and that means that he must be having a glorious time here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that one. Now he'll get to clear up some of these spider babies as they get stunned. Oh, quite a few of them limp away on about half health, and they'll come back to find some additional last hits. But moral of the story is the same. Fear is, he's having a good time. Sumail, what's he looking at in terms of item progression? Just Aquila Power Treads for now, but he does have 2,300 gold saved up, soon to be about 2,500. I think it's going to be the Yules this game. Just that great combination of a farming tool, and then also can allow him to set up kills, get that movement speed, set up the Spirit Bomb, lots of utility. He will bottle up an Invisibility Rune. Nice and aggressive here, and we'll see what he can get done with it. He will move into the tree line. Okay, just buys himself the Void Stone, and it will be that Yule's Scepter on the way.
Shouldn't be a problem, and having that Yules could render someone like a Troll or Slardar useless for a big fight when they don't quite have their BKB yet. And well, we'll have to see. This is now Universe planted on bottom. They have detection in the lane. If they get one quick catch on this Brood Mama, she is donezo. So we'll see, and they can all lead it off with a PPD Fissure if they want. Here it comes now. It's going to happen quick, so be ready for it.
And they find him, though. Willez hiding out in the trees. Very good positioning here. EG lacking on deforestation tools. They could try and guess and waveform into the trees, but they are lacking on detection. Well, Universe actually has picked up dust, so if they can scout him out, we will be able to find the kill. And I'm getting a couple of little spikes here. Looks like it's just something temporary. Good positioning from the Brood, but where does he go from here? He might as well just go AFK, get himself some juice, and then come back, because he is not leaving this spot anytime soon.
And Troll also has to be careful mid lane. Sumail's sitting on an invis, just waiting for him to feel comfortable at all. And then, but nope, he'll show his face now, and Troll knows that his
he does have the
Yules
Yules though.
But yeah, Yules is there. Requiem
look at this. This
online.
could be. Oh god, I thought Sumail would go for it here. That could have been a Yule Spirit Bomb. Maybe he knows Dewey's sitting nearby. Even so, it's only a level 4 Lich. Sure, he'll Frost Blast you, but how much does it really hurt? Here we go. There's the setup.
Here's the adaptive.
Just gonna line up the raid. Oh. Okay, adaptive into finger. It only takes 1 raise, then they'll get the tier 1 tower to boot. Not much the Troll could do there.
Yep. Now the pressure towards the bottom. This is supposed to be a lane for Brood where she's moving towards the tier 1, getting it down early and just taking control of the lane, but it's her tower that is going to have to be defended. So she's just going to try to continue to make this work, and Boreal going to have to make the best out of, you know, working as a 4-man hit squad outside of the Brood, because she's not going to be coming to participate in these big fights. And yeah, I just can't help but feel like it's going to be Boreal with their hands full. And there's the Soul Ring now for Universe, so mana is no problem.
Yep, there's your Blink Dagger on Slardar, though. If there's anything that Boreal's been waiting for this game, this is it. And they'll need to try to make some plays happen with it. Willez does have about 1,600 gold on the Brood. He could be looking at a Recovery Midas, and still some room to recover. Honestly, even though he hasn't done much, he's done a pretty good job just hiding in the trees. It will be that Midas recipe. He's 0, 1, and 0, so given how much attention they've put on the bug, I feel like only dying once is a victory.
Okay, this is the big thing, though, for Boreal. They got their Blink Dagger on the Slaughter. They got the smoke. They're going to go out on this expedition, and
this is the time.
They got to come back with a win.
Sacagawea and shit.
They got to make this happen, and they have eyes towards mid lane. They want that freaking Sumail Shadow Fiend, if possible. Universe would be a tough target to take down. He can always morph in more strength, so that's not the best, but they got to get something here, so...
He's actually still got a long ways to go in terms of morphing. They'll move into the jungle. Smoke gets broken. Sumail scouts it out. He moves deeper into the fog. They don't find him quite yet. Will they get the jump? No, they give up on Sumail. Instead, they turn on to Aoi. They drop the stuns. The Lion will get brought down. Adaptive connects onto Tiburon's Slardar. And it will just be a quick pick on the Lion. All things considered, less than ideal for Boreal. They'll take anything they can get, but definitely hoping for a core over one of the supports.
Yeah. It was just a bit sporadic, it felt as well. It was only like a 2-foot blink, it felt like. But they got the quick nab on the Lion. It's their first kill of the game. Maybe we'll give them a little bit of more momentum and can kind of follow through with getting some more objectives.
Troll did get the kill, so that is nice.
That is nice. That is nice.
Phase boost and 1,000 gold.
But Fear is on the way towards the defusal. He is only missing the second Blade of Alacrity, so that is scary. Just when you think that maybe Boreal can get something done in one place, you look at somewhere else, and Evil Geniuses have something waiting for him in the wings. And a Midas is going to be picked up here for Brood. Just trying to put together some early burst of farm and XP, it feels like.
Yep, I think it's the right call here. If you don't get it, you're just going to be further and further behind, and there's absolutely no chance. At least when you get the Midas now, you have a chance. If EG, for whatever reason, rest on their laurels, if they give you a little bit of space to farm, it's a great recovery item. Also just good on the Brood. You can use the attack speed, and we'll give her the ability to get some much-needed experience at this stage.
Fissure will miss mid lane. PPD trying to get a setup there. If that would have connected, it probably would have been death. Then it would have allowed Universe to land the good adaptive strike. In fact, with a Fissure setup, he can always waveform behind him and adaptive strike them towards the team because of that big bump. But it does miss, so Troll lives on. And I mean, Troll making the smart choice. It looked like he was building towards a BKB. I saw an Ogre Club a moment ago because he will certainly need it. And it's probably something Slardar will need to consider as well after this Blink Dagger.
Yeah. Another smoke rotation here from Boreal. The same ganking squad, 2 supports, and a Slardar leading the charge. Lich still only 5. Witch Doctor does finally have his level 6, so there is a Death Ward, another great team fighting piece here. They'll move into the Roche Pit. I like this play from Boreal, something sneaky that EG might not be totally ready for. When you have the amp damage, it does make this a hell of a lot easier. EG will be busy setting a trap down in the bottom lane behind the trees on perhaps this Broodmother, and it looks like they will not be able to contest.
I don't know. This is going to be a hard Roche. They do have amp damage,
but they don't have the damage.
They're eating a lot of... I mean, Slaughter had to step off, use a salve, then come back in.
This is way slower than I thought it would be. Oh, my.
Oh, God, they're going to be near. This is unfortunate. PPD knows. Drops the Fissure, and they still have a quarter of life to work through for Roche, but it looks like Evil Genius might just sack it here. They pull back and away, and, well, Boreal, they will be able to
about to die to Roche. Oh, my.
Guys.
If that was a... This is so unbelievably risky. Okay. They kill Roche, and they get the
Aegis. That, though. They needed that, so... I guess you just got to make risky plays like that to keep your head above water in a game like this when you are at a very big disadvantage in the early game.
Yeah.
And there's Slaughter already does have his Ogre Club. He's got to go for that BKB. Ogre Club already in the hand of your Troll. That will help. I mean, once you get a BKB, as we will have a pause here for Boreal, then the Universe Morphling can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah.
You can obviously focus someone else, and you can still use the Replicate, which is wonderful. And the other nice thing is that if you need to, for some reason, put together more farm on your Morphling, you can always replicate something like a PL. And that replicate does get the illusions as well. So you can almost easily split push with Morphling as well. The guy has so much utility. I mean, everyone thinks
that's actually kind of ridiculous. I never really
you could
thought
do it
about
with a
that
Drow,
mechanic.
you could do it with a PL, you replicate them, you just throw it into a lane, and they take over the whole lane. No problem. Easy split push right there.
You're right.
And I don't know why
right.
people still draw on the mini-map. I mean, guys, there's a delay. If you're really worried about people alt-tabbing to the stream, they would.
It's like the people that want to lose weight and drink diet soda. If you really cared about losing weight, just cut the soda out, you know? If they really wanted to look at the mini-map and look at wards, they could. You can always see it. It's like, it's this weird logical fallacy of the game is paused. They're going to see all our wards on the mini-map. It's not a 30-minute delay. It's just, it's very silly. Teams are not doing this. It's not a big problem. Probably one team did at some point and somebody got upset. And this is also only in North America. No other region is like, I gotta scribble with my crayons all over the mini-map. It's a North American thing. And I mean, more power to them if they really want to do it. I'm not gonna. We have no rule that says you cannot scribble. It's just a waste of your poor mouse muscles.
The infamous stream sniper Arteezy, I don't know if they know, is not on Evil Geniuses anymore. He's now on Secret. So, guys, that's a joke, by the way.
Oh, man. Gotta be careful with that humor, man. Sometimes, I'm pretty sure there are people on Reddit that actually think you don't know how to read an analog clock, sir.
There are.
There are.
I heard.
More than a
Plenty
couple.
of people thought that I don't know how a clock works. Which,
it's a joke, guys. It's a joke. The joke is that it's a clock that's hard to read. That's all there is to it. You're thinking too hard now.
Okay,
oh, Susie. Susie Q going to get hit by the adaptive. A finger to follow up, and well...
I mean, I don't even think the finger was necessary, but...
3 spells, 3 kills. They did it in style.
Yeah, I think it,
PPD didn't even break his smoke for that gank. That's how much style was done there. And he got the kill.
You can gap close so well with this team. I mean, the Fizzers already has tremendous long range, and Universe has his waveform, and the 900 range of the stun alone. Give him a Blink Dagger, which is usually the next thing after Tranquil Soul Ring. All you need is a Blink Dagger on this kind of Morphling. So that way you can waveform and get the extra gap closing with the Blink. Hell, you could Blink behind them and push them forward, then waveform. But then on top of it, you can build a whatever the hell you want. In the previous game, he went Atos, which is good. You know, more life, you stun him, and then you can slow him after. They're not going anywhere ever. So.
And if you have enough farm, you can always go for an E-Blade as sort of a big ticket item if the game goes on long enough. Gives you a lot of utility to either use it defensively, set up kills with kind of a shotgun. So much versility with this hero.
A good high ceiling to build into really a core as well. Just like a support Wraith King or something like that.
Support Morana, what have you.
What have you.
EG will continue to take objectives around the map, though. Top tier 1 tower goes down. They'll glyph their bottom tier 1 as the Broodmother starts to put some damage into it. Rest of Boreal on the hunt. They'll find a PL illusion. Oh, that Slithering Crush going to be a little wasted there. Unfortunate for Tiburon. Fear, does he have that defusal yet? Oh, he sure does.
He's not using his Midas. He just killed a bunch of creeps, but didn't want to use his Midas on it. Come on, Fear. But he'll head it back to bottom lane right now.
His Midas is on cooldown. Were you looking at an illusion?
Oh, no, for Fear? Oh, no. I swear on my life, it was not on cooldown when I first clicked on it. That's weird.
Graphics
okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I can't prove it because everyone's watching your screen and not mine.
Yeah.
But I can't read an analog clock, so what do I know?
It will never be proven.
All right, so Boreal, they still have their backs against the wall. It's only 7-1, but it's 7,500 net worth right now for EG, and they have plenty to fall back on this point. I am surprised that Sumail hasn't really gone on a tear at this point. I feel like that your Shadow Fiend with the big advantage he had early on would start looking to go around and dropping down, a big Spirit Bomb on everyone.
He's definitely been a little quiet, but he spent this time farming. He has a 10-second BKB now, still #1 on net worth by double. You compare you add up the top 2 farmers on Boreal, and they about equal Sumail. So he certainly has slowed down on the killing, but the farming has not stopped. He has 211 last hits at 16 minutes. That is just impressive.
It's ridiculous. Maybe looking to break records instead of break backs of Boreal here as they try to rotate towards the top, but he just promptly heads towards the mid lane. And Evil Geniuses have been a bit on reserve as far as pushing forward for objectives here, but as they continue to itemize, and Sumail does have that BKB now, and for Fear, who already has his Diffusal and Midas, and actually he just made another purchase, and it could be a Yasha, I'd imagine, on the way if he wants to go for the Manta. No, it's Boots of Travel, so he's got Boots of Travels coming his way. They're in a good position right here, and they're obviously able to kind of take things at a pace they want, but Willie's got to be careful here. Universe diving, has Dust, could pop it, but he does find another little nook to hide in.
He's just got so many webs down here. Even with the detection, he can move into these little spots where they can't get to him. If they had an Enigma or someone else that could just clear mass trees easily, this would be no problem, but that is one weakness of the EG draft that I guess you don't really think about very often. Do we have tree clearers this game? With a 5th pick Brood, you just can't really plan for it, so One thing that Willis has going his way. Now up top, there will be a defense at this Tier 1 tower. Tiburon still has the Aegis. They'll go in on him here. Finger of Death brings him down. And more TPs on the way. Chain Frost will take 1 or 2 bounces, but no problemo there. Tiburon does blink out away from the Requiem of Souls. But now Sumail, BK Beyond, they hit him with an adaptive, and nothing the Slardar can do. It's a 1-0 as they also get the Aegis. Brood in the bottom lane, trying to do some split push as best she can.
Uh-oh, Yule's on the Lich. One raise, the adaptive, and he's in a coma now.
Yeah, that's it.
He's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Gets caught, taken apart, and well, the thing is, even a 3rd pick Morphling, you can't really anticipate if it's going to be Strength Morph or not, but with it being Evil Geniuses, I would have had the inkling it could have been Strength, and maybe you consider switching out something from your Lich to a Abaddon. That way you can at least have the shield to quickly remove the adaptive stun, or an LC or something, but yeah, it's hard. And at this point, you just have to kind of stay away, and there's the Blink Dagger. Now Universe can close the gap from a dramatic distance and even shove them back into his own team. The setup is going to be ridiculous from EG now.
Fear does manage to deny the bottom Tier 2. You can see this Broodmother still being an irritant on the side of EG, or on the opposition rather. This Midas starting to pay off a little bit. Brood is the leading farmer on the Dire side. They will catch him with an adaptive. There's your Dust, rather, but is there any way to interrupt him here? PPD? Nope, doesn't have the mana for a Fissure, nor does he have the cooldown, and the Bug will just TP out. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sumail may be in some trouble. Owie opts just to TP home. He'll turn. BKB puts on a couple of raises, wants to try and man-fight his way out of this, but it won't happen. No TP scroll on the Shadow Fiend, and they will bring him down. He ends up killing the troll with a Death Requiem, but Slardar ends the mega kill streak and gets a huge bounty out of that.
Yeah, a little bit of a bounty boost does make it for the better Boreal, and maybe
800 gold on the Slardar.
Sumail just maybe not being too cautious in side pushing that lane, knowing that Boreal were missing. But, I mean, they did have a ward over here, which is a very nice aggressive ward over in the side of Boreal, but they must have moved on through that and he didn't detect it, so he pays the price. He does go down, and hey, Boreal get a nice little boost from themselves, which they certainly need. Getting those BKBs, though, is of the utmost importance. Only very close now is Tiburon to his. And for Troll, he has his, so that's great. So Boreal now maybe could feel a little bit more comfortable about taking a fight.
I mean, Troll does have a BKB, that's certainly great, but they're still lacking on damage. That's their big problem now. Troll's right clicks don't hurt at all, and he doesn't really have any sustainability. Usually you'll see that Helm of the Dominator before BKB. He doesn't even have that, so pretty low armor, relatively low damage, and no lifesteal makes him much less of a threat. Here in the bottom lane, we may see Fear just square up against him if he wants to have a one-on-one man fight with the Troll. And I think he'll actually be the victor here, but doesn't have much vision. You look at Radiance, and yeah, this could be bait. Throws out the Phantom Lance and just backs up. Okay, Spirit Lance, rather.
The nice thing for Boreal, though, if you feel like maybe they're lacking a bit of damage in the right click from Slardar and Troll, is they do have the Death Ward. And he has some reasonable farm on this Witch Doctor. He's got 2 of the components towards an Agnums, and that can get a bit ridiculous. And if they don't anticipate it and they don't use their stuns properly to stop him from doing it, he can do a tremendous amount of damage, and they could end up wiping EG if they're not prepared. But EG have a wealth of stuns to deal with the Death Ward. Is the other problem is that they got a Lion who's got 2 of them, PPD's got plenty, and that Adaptive Strike.
Gem up on Universe. I was just wondering, when will they pick that up? And now Willez finally gets sent to the grave. Caught off guard there, and as soon as he gets hit by an Adaptive, like you pointed out, that's just time for the Phantom Lancer to drop the hammer, and boy did he do a lot of damage. It looks like we'll have a Lich DC, and we'll be patient as he gets back in. But 11-2 EG, although their snowball has slowed down a little bit, it's still gaining in size, and Well, with every kill, they get that much further ahead. You look at the net worth graph, and just about to breach 5 figures here, shy at 10K.
Nice thing about Morphling as a strength/support, or wherever you want to identify him, is that because he's very hard to get a hold of, very elusive, and the fact that you can give him so much frickin' life is that he's excellent candidate to hold something like a gem. So not really surprised by that. I am curious why they don't see the traditional clan_Iraq guide of the strength Morphling is to just go all in with the strength. Screw the agility. You know, it's irrelevant that you have a base attack. It's going to be weak as it is. You might as well just kind of keep your Tranquil Boots active at all times and benefit from the extra move speed and regen. And pretty much all you need to worry about is setting up plays for your team. You know, being there to kind of get the quick adaptive, and you can always use the replicate to be your source of DPS. But he's keeping a bit into agility, actually quite a bit. He could easily bump himself up to about 2K right now if he really wanted to. But I guess, you know, you can always hold a bit for some base armor and some sort of right click. But, you know, I guess to each their own. Some people like to go really all in with the gains.
Yeah, I mean, I may be thinking that, one thing that you can do by holding the agility is you can sort of bait your opponents a little bit, where if you go full strength and you get low, they know they can commit on you here. They have to make that judgment call. Do we want to try to fight through the morphing, or do we just want to back out because we know we can morph some? So that can be a little bit of a deterrent in terms of trying to kill the morphling, but I'm a little surprised as well. Maybe Universe just feeling like they don't need the max stun duration. I mean, they've been doing fine with it at about 50%, so why bother? You know, why add more if we're killing them in 2 seconds if the max stun goes up to 4? I don't know. It is a bit peculiar, though.
I mean, he will have it at least at the 4.25 threshold. Like, he'll always make sure that he has just enough strength so he can get the most out of it. You can always just go more into it, though, so that you're that much harder to bring down. That's why some people also consider a blade mail as a good option on the Morphling, because you're just going to eat damage. But the thing is if you go all into strength, you can eat as much damage as you want, and you're just constantly reflecting all of that back. So, you know, it's just something that, you know, teams are slowly starting to work with here.
Am I misreading the way this works with the sliding scale? For I'm going to show my noobness here. I was under the impression it's sort of like a sliding scale similar to Mirana's arrow. As it moves, the more distance it travels, the higher the stun. And here it's that sliding scale to hit those different thresholds. But it says if his strength is 50% higher than his agility, so it needs to be double what his agility is to get that max thing. So, okay.
He's already there.
No, he's not double.
Oh, is he not double
That's
yet?
what I mean. He's got 51 strength, 40, well, before the base stuff, 54 strength, 45 agility right now. So that means he's not at the max stun. Is that what that means? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure I'm reading this right. That's how I understood it. So it has to be like, you know, for him to have 50 strength, he needs to have 25 agility for it to get the max stun.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Maybe
so it's
he
a sliding
just,
scale up to those 50% thresholds.
I mean, maybe he likes to be flexible and move it back and forth.
Yeah.
But he only has 1 point in a morph, so it takes a long time if you wanted to quickly shift it over. That's the risky thing.
It's a bit peculiar. You make a really good point as to why he's on 50-50, and I would be tempted to say it's because they're just so far ahead. It almost doesn't matter that much, but it is very intriguing. It's one of those I'd be interested just to be able to ping one of the EG players and ask about the strategy of how much, what kind of a threshold you put your Morphling at when he's in kind of an off-lane scenario.
Well, you know, maybe it's just something they're trying out. I mean, I believe last night PPD did play it himself, or he was drafted in a position where he played the Morphling, and he had his own take on it. You know, he also didn't go all into strength, and he went down the road of picking up a couple of core items, got something like a Yules as well, which is great. I mean, imagine Adaptive Strike. You know, you get some shots in, they're about to come out, you Yules them up.
Oh, yeah.
They come back down, your adaptive is probably back up in the next second.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yules is amazing. It's
probably what he's going for next. He already has a Sage Mask.
I mean, the mana regen is not something you can really ever go wrong with on a Morphling either.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have the best regeneration in general, so lets you morph around like crazy. Looks like everyone's back here. This was a back-to-back pauses here. One for the Dire side and now one for EG, as Aoi had to do a little reset himself. So looks like both teams are ready, and we'll be able to get back underway. Where were we before this pause started? Well, AG was sieging this Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. It's Fear on the PL, and now level 16, he will be able to claim this tower for himself. Down it goes, while the rest of his team continues farming.
And he's got his Manta complete, back at home. And he'll just continue to slowly siege this bottom lane because they have vision. They see trolls in the jungle. He's not looking to come and defend. They see that the Witch Doctor's mid, and they even see so many people top lane.
Defend this? Look at this. It's just a free glyph.
Yeah, he knows that he can get away with this, and finally he sees the troll leave the lane, and he's like, okay, I can pull back. That's just Good ward placement coming out from Evil Geniuses to get that bit of intel and know how long they can work in these lanes before they are forced to pull back.
Forcing out a glyph right there, that is just amazing. EG are starting to tighten the noose a little bit. There's 2 outer towers remaining, one of them pretty low. There's a chance they'll be sieging high ground in the next 5-6 minutes when that glyph may really come into play. Roche is right around the corner also, maybe something EG won't hand over for free this go around. We'll see them get aggressive up in the top lane. Fear trying to close the gap onto Dewey. He will. Adaptive Strike connects from the side. That's an easy pick on the Lich. Now the waveform across the trees onto Tiburon, but Slardar will scoot away.
Looks like they'll just kind of take advantage of the jungle for now, take away that farm from Boreal. Slardar does have to be careful. He's just desperate to try to quickly finish his BKB. He can actually just wait out the time for it if he wanted to at this point, but definitely needs to get the extra CS, though. Mid lane, they see Troll. Troll, adaptive. He's not using his BKB, so he's going to pay the price, and he does go down.
Well, that's pretty easy Requiem there. On the high ground, the Witch Doctor gets off a decent ulti, but unfortunately for him, it just doesn't do enough, and that's an easy cleanup. EG just picking them apart at this point, and they're so far ahead that in these team fights, they can kind of just roll over them. Doesn't really take too much coordination. They're just higher level, better farm, bigger items, and, well, Troll, he didn't even use his BKB that fight. So that's like his prize gem right there. I didn't even get to use it.
Fear's kind of acting like the Broodmother almost for EG. Well, Willies is trying to make a push happen on the bottom, still trying to inch forward. He did get that tier 2 down. Fear does the same kind of job here now on the top lane, even forces the Broodmother back to defend it. I mean, maybe now at this point, Willies will kind of make a home in this top lane so we can get the tier 1 and tier 2 there.
He went for BKB, not the Necro or anything like that, so a sign that he actually wants to get a little bit involved and try and
look
fight.
At EG's team. You need a BKB.
Well,
it's
on all the cores I would agree, except Brood is... I think ideally he would not want to fight and just try to split push. Maybe rat their way to victory, start working the webs on the top lane, take out these towers, and to me that says items like Necro Book, Desolator, Vladimir's Offering, Aura-based items that help your creeps push a little bit more. BKB, that's when you actually want to fight against heroes and not just play Farmville all day. So we'll see how it ends up working out. Mid lane, Susie going to get caught out by an adaptive, and that's a big juicy stun. It's another kill on the Troll. His team's in the Roche pit, but without the Troll ult, do they even have the damage to bring it down in a timely manner? PPD in the neighborhood. He picks up the double damage, but doesn't scout it. They don't have the intel. With a lot of heroes missing off the map, maybe EG will get skeptical here.
They probably just think that Boreal's waiting in the base, looking to defend. So
Most
this
likely.
is going to be an easy Roche here for Boreal. And
But it doesn't really make a difference, though. An Aegis on the Slardar at this point, I don't know that that's really enough for Boreal to try and turn things around.
Well, there's going to be a point here very soon, and it might be with that Aegis and with Troll back and alive and as BKB at the ready that they will need to take a fight. Because the late game also looks pretty promising for EG. So if they want to get a turnaround play, they need to take a big fight here soon.
It definitely doesn't hurt, that's for sure. But
oh god, Willie's is dead.
My. Fear doing huge damage. Forces out
He's
the
going to go down.
Does he still fall?
He's dead.
He dies to all the illusions. Oh my.
Oh boy.
Well, he does have a buyback at least. Now a full butterfly up on Sumail. EG will just continue to siege this and do it slow and steady. No reason to force the issue here. That's just a freebie. And you look at this net worth, and it's just getting worse. I do want to mention though, while we have a little break here, I did mess up my math talking about the morphing, the whole adaptive strike thing. 50% is not 100%. I was saying it has to be double. 50% is not double. It's half, and then just want to
half of the edge.
Clarify that I actually went full dirt mode on that map there. It's been a while, guys. I'm not a human calculator. Sorry.
And how often do you really see a strength morph?
How often do I really do math these days? And it's not often enough, I guess, is the real question.
Calculus was the prerequisite to be a Dota caster, if you did not know.
Hey, man, I passed calculus. It was just many a year ago.
I can't read numbers on a clock, so I am way behind. We
need to hire. BTS is officially hiring a math tutor. If you guys know anyone, send us your credentials, and we'll think about it here. And EG, they're just playing with their food before they eat it. This is that stage where Boreal's just locked on their side of the map. They can't really come out too much further than that. EG clearing out their jungle, the enemy's jungle, both sets of ancients. I mean, they don't have to win right now because they've got the farming tools and they've got the.
But I put out this like griefing sigh because then you check out someone like I'll look over at Sumail who I haven't seen in a while, and he's got a freaking butterfly, you know, and now they're doing work. Willie's stunned. There's a finger. There's a follow-up stun. He's not going anywhere.
They don't even have time to use their BKBs.
No,
you get hit
they
by
don't.
An adaptive, and you die before you can even
That's
BKB.
what makes this stun so good. Is there is no time. There is no time. There's no casting time. Like it's instant. You can't disjoint it. You can't react. And when you get something like a blink, look at that. Look at Dewey. Dead. Bing. Boom.
Pooped
Bomb.
on him.
Boom. Dead.
It's actually ridiculous.
The blink makes it instant, and you don't even have the second to get a BKB.
Up top, are they going to get fear? He goes in on to 747. And Tiburon's nearby, hits him with a Slithering Crush, and they do find a kill there. But Sumail, meanwhile, sets up on the Witch Doctor. He gets a freebie. He will move into the high ground, and even though they lose their PL, they still find a victory around the map, and they'll have a 4v2 as they start to siege the high ground here. Tier 3 tower falls in the bottom lane, and will they back out or will they continue sieging? Looks like they back out first. Now they go in, just waiting for Universe to initiate. Tiburon, say goodnight to your Aegis. Susie gets stunned up.
He's going to have another adaptive.
That's it.
2 seconds right now.
He's still on his 10-second BKB. He hasn't even got to use it yet. Now Sumail, his BKB's on. Tiburon gets to pop his Willas as well. Everyone shining yellow. But it's the Dire side that's on the back foot. They'll be forced to move back to the well. Chain Frost.
Boom.
And it's just going to bounce around some creeps. Sumail doesn't even get hit by it until the end. Now Universe comes in. They're actually going to bounce the Chain Frost across each other. He'll finish off Sumail. Now the Death Ward getting Universe low, but he'll start morphing some strength. He'll survive, and they'll back out. What a dunk from PPD. Saves his buddy and also kills the Slardar in the mix. EG take a couple of casualties, but in the end, they will back out after another successful skirmish. Barracks still standing as they reinitiate once more. And I don't know. They'll get the barracks. Okay, Fear has BOTs. He joins the party now, and they're ready to just continue fighting. Buyback, though, from the Slardar. Out onto Fear. PPD reinitiates. Fissure to break it up.
Finger.
Oh, my. Tiburon gets fingered down. Slardar with a dieback. He's in the grave for 70 seconds now, and what started as kind of a slow siege from EG is slowly turning into what could be the beginnings of their GG push. Barracks have fallen, and they're still lingering around as if they want to continue fighting. Adaptive onto the Troll. Follow-up's not there this time, Dakota.
Doesn't matter. He can just throw those out anytime. Give it away at this point, as they'll just step off. And yeah, that's a bottom set of racks now gone, and what started as the Broodmother territory. And with that, they can just kind of pull away. And because of all those earnings, I mean, you got to remember that they did recently buff the gold you get from taking down racks. They just get a nice little boost in their economy, and they'll just continue to itemize here. Owie's trying to get a Agnum Scepter thrown together. He's only about 700 gold off on his Lion. PL, he's got a Scotty. Not really surprised by seeing that. And now it looks like Shadow Fiend dropped off his BKB and is hoping or holding a reserve slot for now. So I'm not too sure what the game plan is there. Maybe I don't know.
Satanic. He's got the recipe sitting on the courier right now, and there is a Yule's on the way for one Universe.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why he's holding on to the slot, though. He's just going to upgrade that HOD.
He'll have it here after clearing out this ancient stack. So
a little peculiar, though, that he just has the BKB on the courier rather than in that open inventory slot. I mean, even just the strength and damage lets you farm a little more quickly. If you get jumped on, might be able to save you. Not really sure why Sumail's just flying around with it on the courier. Maybe so that they can't scout out the duration or something if he walks by a ward. That's about all I can think of.
Okay, Boreal, they have left their home, and they're actually going to go on the assault, but there's Troll getting hit from an adaptive, and, well, so much for
Will
that.
Susie get to BKB
He's
this
dead.
game? I don't think so.
Nope,
10-second BKB,
ridiculous.
still ready. Oh, boy.
Okay, well, maybe we see the answer for Troll at least now, and you better be prepared for this potential kind of stun lockdown. He does it again here onto Shark. Shark, he's going to get blown up. He goes down. 2 drop from Boreal, and it is something that maybe Boreal need to consider. Next game, maybe a possible respect ban towards the Morphling, or at least be prepared just in case. Get your Abaddon, get your LC, a Rubik. What is it? Slark could be okay, but even then, it's too instant.
Yeah, it's... I want to see it in a more even matchup. Of course, this series a little more one-sided, e.g. very heavy favorites. Favorites for all of Phase 2 in general. So here in the first round, you absolutely believe that you'd expect a game like this to happen, perhaps, but how do you deal with that Morphling? It just really felt like Universe got very... Like, it was an okay laning phase. He didn't get a super amount of farm. It was just a normal break even, and he just took over in the mid-game. One
of the best things you could do to prepare if you see an early Morphling picked up in a draft, maybe you can aggro. If you do an aggro tri-lane, that's usually good.
Completely zone him out.
It's usually good. It's good against both Agi Morph and a Strength Morph. So it is something they could consider.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see how they decide to change things up for Game 2.
Well, game number 2 right around the corner, folks. Again, it's not elimination, so even if Boreal falls 0-2, they will have a chance to fight their way back in the lower bracket. Our first best of 3 today. We've got a whole nother one coming up after this, so stick around. Plenty of Dota 2 still to come. I'm Zyori, he's KotLGuy, and we'll be back after this short break.